Hey guys, how you doing? It's DannyDealz. Thank you for tuning in to Un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more. Today, I would like to talk to you about another quality microcap stock, penny stock. To those of you in the know, this company is Unity Biotechnology Inc. Ticker symbol is UBX. UBX. Some of you just been asking, are there any opportunities for the upcoming week? Anything with some strong catalysts coming up? And this is one stock I have a position in. I like, thought I'd share a little bit of information. Let me share my screen with you here. A little bit about Unity Biotechnology. They are focused on aging diseases. They're coming up with molecules or trying to advance molecules that fight sentient cells, which I guess feed on healthy tissues. They destroy healthy tissues. And in the eye, they're very problematic. And the diseases associated with diabetes that affect the vision in the patients are being affected by these sentient cells. So, UBX lead product candidate 1325 is currently in trials for AMD, macular degeneration. What else are they working on? And they're also working on diabetic macular edema. This particular drug could be effective treatment for one or both, and is also being studied in combination with some other drugs. So, just taking a look at the company, first off, yeah, that's what they do. They're looking at this as an injectable. It's basically going to be an alternative to the anti-VEGF treatments. The major difference is that these types of treatments, UBX 1325, it does not damage the healthy cells and tissues and structures. It only goes after these sentient cells. So it's a total novel mechanism of action that UBX has. Now, the 52-week range on the stock is $2 to the low side and 18.50 to the high side. This company's lead product candidate was UBX 0101 or whatever 001 was a osteoarthritis drug, I believe. They were targeting knee pain, and the program basically crashed and burned. They had a questionable phase one data set, and they pushed it into phase two, and it just crashed and burned. They had to scrap the whole program. But since then, they cut their staff dramatically, cut their expenses dramatically, improved their cash runway, and then focused in on these diseases of the eye. And they're advancing those programs with a focus so they can actually get something to market and not go out of business or dilute the stock to death and all that happy stuff. Taking a look at the some of the key players, Unity Biotechnology. Just like to take a look at the CEO, Anirvan Ghosh. Just this guy's. I like to look at key players. Now, your resume doesn't prove anything. It doesn't prove that you're going to be successful at this company, but this guy has quite a resume. He served as, prior to joining Biogen, he served as vice president and global head of neuroscience discovery and biomarkers at Roche. Previously, he held academic appointments at Johns Hopkins School of Medicine and the University of California, San Diego, DannyDealz alma mater. And he received his BS in physics from California Institute of Technology. He received a PhD in neuroscience from Stanford University and completed his postdoctoral work at Harvard Medical School. He has 100 publications in top-tier journals, Science and Nature, and just this company has some really talented scientists working for them. And yes, they've had some setbacks, but UBX 1325, so far the data has looked really good. I invite you to look at some of the literature and actually see the mechanism of action. If you like science and you can understand some of this stuff, DannyDealz is a little bit questionable. And Hurricane Lopez is no better. But if you can understand this, I encourage you to read it because it looks extremely promising. It's a totally new approach, um, senolytic approach intended to target senescent cells. I was saying that wrong. Sentient, senescent. I always get these science terms wrong because I am not a big science person and I'm not very smart. But anyway, I encourage you to go to their website, read about their people, read about UBX 1325, read about some of the ongoing work. If you take a look at UBX, they have a couple of upcoming catalysts that could be very important for the company. You notice with the price action, the stock has been sort of hovering around this $4 range since last August. They had a huge pump and dump. I think that was on the some phase two data, if I'm not mistaken. But if you eliminate the pump and dump, it's a pretty nice, consistent looking chart. So they got down to I had a kind of a tracking position on the stock going way back, not to the IPO. It's IPO to like a $700 million valuation. 2018, I believe, got a ton of hype. Jeff Bezos, and among others, were talking about the stock, supposed to be a cure for aging. But as things went south, it has gone down. And after a reverse split, the stock got all the way down into the twos, and I think mid twos, low twos. That's where I took a pretty good size position, and I've been building it ever since, trying to buy under $3. I would definitely buy this stock anywhere under $3 now. Um, Went all the way up to like 550, and then off that bounced off that 208, 209, whatever it was, the 52-week low, and went up over $5, and now has pulled back a little bit. And we're trying to take a look at this thing and see if it's going to go all the way back down and make the round trip and retest these lows, or if we are consolidating here for a move to the upside. And we're going to go ahead and this is just a little bit of a pullback and some consolidation. We're going to move back to the upside. Um, it's hard to say on this one. The catalysts here are everything because this is really a one trick pony at this point. They put all their eggs in this basket of UBX 1325. The exciting thing is about getting in right now, and why I think the stock's so nervous, is that we have two catalysts coming up, which are very important. Upcoming milestones. UBX 1325, 16 and 24 week safety and efficacy data for the phase 2 Envision wet AMD study. That's expected this quarter. So within the next week to 2 weeks, that should be a pretty good catalyst. And then I would say the really big catalyst is the 48-week safety and efficacy data from the phase 2 Behold study, which is diabetic macular edema, I believe, DME. And that is expected in the second quarter. So that is a huge catalyst. If this data looks really good, I expect the share price to really go up violently because, and this is where we get into this. This is a big market. Um, and you're going to see this drug Eylea, which is an anti-VEGF type of drug. They just had a really off quarter. The stock got nailed, and they sold, you know, just in the they sold 6.26 billion um, in for the year, and the sales were down, I guess, for a variety of reasons. They're pointing to COVID, they're pointing to different things, but there were some one-off problems. So the point is, this drug sells about $7 billion per year. It's kind of a standard, and just gives you an idea of the scope of the market. The DME market is expected to grow by 11.1 billion dollars in about 7 years here, 2031, and then correspondingly the AMD market is currently about 10 billion as and is expected to have a CAGR of about 7%, so it would be about 14 or 15 billion dollars by 2031. These are worldwide markets, but the point is there are drugs doing billions of dollars a year in this space, and Unity Biotechnology's UBX 1325 has the potential to be a new standard of care. I mean, we're very early, but the data looks extremely promising. Um, if you take a look at this the pipeline that they have. This is just an article in Fierce Biotech 2022. Um, Newly refocused Unity's ophthalmology asset improves vision in phase 2, and this is a good resource if you want to check it out. Um, the crew is focused. 1325 met safety and efficacy goals in phase 2. Behold study. The main goal was to produce safety, tolerability, and a single injection measured by incidence of treatment emergent adverse effects. And key secondary endpoints included corrected vision, retinal stability, and measure of the number of patients. So at 24 weeks, a single dose of UBX-25 improved best corrected vision acuity, a common measure of vision impairment conducted by a letter chart, which you read during your optometrist visit. It's just similar to the DMV or what. And compared to a sham treatment, so there was a noticeable statistically significant improvement with 1325 over the sham treatment. Patients also maintained central subfield thickness, suggesting stabilization of retinal structure compared to the sham patients who experienced worsening. This is very, very critical. UBX 1325 gets rid of the bad cells that are killing the structures of the eye that are causing these age-related diseases, and it lets healthy tissues and healthy structures grow back again. It actually um, stopped the retinal damage that these senescent cells do. So, in any case, you can again read these. Here's the CEO, Anner Van Gogh. The durable effect we've now observed through 6 months following just a single injection of UBX 1325 suggests it could represent a longer lasting disease modifying treatment options for patients. Now, Eylea, I think they're injecting like every 4 weeks, and they're just coming out with one. I think that's longer, like supposed to be 8 or 12. I'm not sure about that. But UBX, they might only have to inject it once every 24 weeks, could be even longer, and they haven't even got around to increased dosing and things like that yet. So this is a very promising drug. It has 2 catalysts upcoming, one in the next week or two and another next quarter. They do have a good cash runway. Now, why do I like this Monday? The stock basically just got completely hammered on Friday after hours. UBX had entered into an at the money agreement where Cowen would offer up to $25 million of their stock at the money. They had sold about 10 million, and they just, Friday they announced they're going to try to sell some more of the stock, basically at the money. This makes a lot of sense to me. I don't believe that this is really a bad thing. They're definitely going to need more money to even get into phase threes, much less get through. They only have a cash runway for less than another year. I believe if you're a small cap stock, of a micro cap, a penny stock in particular, cash management is just critical, and that's why I'm glad we have a CEO who was with Big Pharma, somebody who has the experience. Not just the resume, but the experience to run the company. A lot of these tiny companies, drug companies, biotech companies, they have founders who might be good at science and might be very passionate about the product or the niche they're in, but they simply do not have the cash management and the business skills to keep the company on a solid financial footing. So they get themselves backed into a corner and they start running out of cash. And then that's when these short, long hedge funds and the shorts in general smell blood, and they just come in when you don't have cash and you have debt, and you're having trouble, you need to raise money, interest rates are high, it's very difficult to raise money. That's when they'll just short you down to nothing, cause more reverse splits, and sort of cause the death spiral of some of these smaller companies. So I like to see the CEO get out in front of it and say, hey, a cash runway to 2024 is not what we're looking for. We want increase our cash runway, and the dilution here at the money at this point with a $58 million market cap does not bother me at all. This is this drug, if approved, could be selling billions of dollars per year, and we need more money. There's going to be more dilution. Doing it at the money is absolutely fine on basically on the open market. So no problem there. I think the market completely overreacted, ripping the stock 27 cents during trading and 21 cents after hours. Now, this company has a tendency to drop big after hours, and it comes right back pre-market. It's all kinds of games being played. But I don't think there's any reason this stock should have taken a 13-point hit just on the basis of that news that they might sell another, 10, $15 million worth of stock, and it's not even a sure thing yet. So I think you have a really good entry point here. We've had a nice pullback. And if you take a look at that level, that 1370 level, that's been seen some support. That's basically a critical level. Let's just take a look a little bit closer at that. I know we broke below that right now, but if you take a look at this level, you'll notice support. It's support once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, a little bit higher here. But then it also has been resistance a few times. I don't know if you can see that in this chart, but there's going back. Um, that 370 level has been pretty good support. And again, I know we broke below that after hours, but I expect institutions, if nobody else, come in and snap up those shares pre-market. So if you can get into this thing pre-market at these levels, anywhere down near 350, I think is an excellent entry point. But remember, this is a pre-revenue penny stock. It's very, very risky. They're only getting phase 2 results, but these 48-week results coming out in Q2 should really tell the tale. They've got a lot of discipline. They've cut their staff down to just what they need. They've got R&D expense. They've got all their general expenses under control. They're being prudent financially. They're raising money, but not in a stupid way. And I like the management. Of course, nobody likes the fact that their lead candidate crashed and burned, but that's why you have this opportunity to buy this stock down here at these levels at near a 50 million, under a $60 million market cap. So this stock is Unity Biotechnology. The ticker symbol is UBX. As always, I want to tell you, buying any stock involves a lot of risk. Buying a penny stock, a microcap stock, involves a ton of risk. Look at your risk tolerance, look at your finances. Don't put any money into this or any penny stock you can't absolutely afford to lose and don't expect to lose. The high reward comes with a lot of risk, and if you get bad data here, it's going to be an absolute bloodbath. So, and the data has to be good, both the Q1 data coming out 16-24 week, and then the 48-week coming out in Q2. If both those readouts look really good and this treatment looks like it could get into a strong phase 3, I think you're going to see this market cap move, like I said, violently to the upside. This company had a hell of a lot of hype around it a couple of years ago, and its technology, its mechanisms that they're looking at might actually work. Just because it didn't work with the knee pain questionnaires, you know, sometimes you swing and miss, and you come back up in your next at bat and you might hit a home run. So that's what I'm hoping for with Unity Biotechnologies. Again, friends, thanks for taking a look at Un Poco Mas, the show we give you just a little bit more. Show is produced tonight, as always, by Hurricane Lopez, executive producer extraordinaire. My name is DannyDealz. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you again on Monday.